influential. Now, Sly said this one in. Sly, you're saying between Curry and Harden.
Yeah, right. So let me preface it as well. So we know Curry kind of revolutionized the game as far as, the 3-point ball. You know what I'm saying? It's like he done took it to where everybody's shooting the three more from little kids at the park. Like some of your grandma might be at the park right now working on her three. But I'm saying as far as who the players kind of
Mm.
mark their game after, I think Harden was so influential because I was watching I was watching the Hornets, and I'm watching LaMelo play, and I'm like, yo, he kind of plays similar to Harden. And then we watch Luca. I'm like, Luca plays a lot similar to Harden as well. And I start thinking like, who plays like Steph? Like, it's not many people that play like Steph Curry because like his game is it's hard. It's hard to play like Steph Curry. He's running around coming off screens and he got an extra wrinkle to his game that I think these guys ain't really in the gym working on. You can go and work on your step back three. You can't work on running around three screens and like these kids ain't with all of that. So that's why I say I think it's kind of it's more of a discussion than people say because we credit Steph Curry so much with just revolutionizing the game, making so many 3-point shots being taken, and I kind of want to get you guys to take on that.
Real quick. I agree with you. I think overall, generation, countries, the world, Steph Curry did it. I think in the NBA, I would have definitely have to say James Harden because you're right. You can see more guys play the style of Harden plays. Like you said, you see uh
SGA.
Jokic. No, SGA step back. I said
Mm,
Jokic. What's my bad? Um, Jason Tatum, step back, all of these guys, the whole thing there, learning how to draw fouls and all of this step back, Euro step. I think it's James Harden for sure.
What about you, Mills?
I mean, what Steph does is can't be replicated, right? Everybody wants to shoot threes like Steph, but like I said, that's years on of how he's literally from a dad who shot the three, and it's in their genetics to shoot threes. But
yeah.
how James Harden did it, he slows the game down as a ball handler slash playmaker, but does it into a way of creating like abusing the call, not abusing it, but knowing the call and making the action to force the ref to make the call, right? And so yeah, I agree. James Harden today's style of basketball very more influential than Steph because Steph is just a bomb. You can't replicate that. But with Harden, everybody can literally the swim move, the
Word.
side. I call it the side step, step back. So it's a side step, or just acting out how your shooting motion is, getting the foul call, or slowing it down, having the guard, having the defender right behind you, then flopping back. You know what I'm saying? Getting the foul call. Yeah, it's been James Harden. It's been James Harden for some time now, and it is what it is. I don't like it personally because it's just like you playing on the ref's mind. And refs are human, so they're going to make certain calls by the rule book. So or try to.
I feel you guys. I mean, it's only hard to replicate Steph because nobody's running that scheme of an offense. If they ran that scheme of the offense, I think we could find a couple dollar store Steph Currys. Because I mean, it's a modified triangle. Triangle. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of teams are running that. The Warriors system is just different than everybody else's. But I have to concur with you guys. But then I kind of feel like I don't want to butcher his name. Reem Madu, or what the heck is his name again?
You could just say Chris Jackson.
Is it Chris Jackson?
Yeah, that was his before he changed his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't want to butcher his name, but
Yeah.
he had almost a similar game to Harden where he'd be able to get people to jump off that play off the shot fake. You know what I mean? Like he had his certain little moves he could do. So yes, Harden, but I think there's we can go back in history and see the evolution of Harden's style from certain players in certain eras where they had some of the stuff that he did. The step back wasn't really ever a thing in the 90s and early 80s and all that stuff. That kind of came within the 2000s. But the style of the way he's a point guard, the rebound, you know what I mean? The assist, like you look at Magic. Magic was a guy that would tell his players, like, listen, put your hand up because the ball's coming. Like, pay attention. You know what I mean? And he could see the whole court. Yes, at 6'9", but he was feeding everybody. You know what I mean? Razzle dazzle. You look at John Stockton. John Stockton was nice, bro. Isaiah with the dribble. You know what I mean? With that machine gun dribble. Tim Hardaway with the killer crossover. So there's a lot of players I think that influence now, and it's just been modified because we see James Harden utilizing a lot of it. But back to Sly's point, when it came to SGA, he's just cerebral. That's all it is. He's understanding, like Mill said, and Sly, and Da Vinci, he's understanding the rules, and he's understanding how to manipulate them, but that only works in the regular season. We all know this. Once he gets to playoffs, that whole step through rip stuff ain't gonna work. They're gonna be like, nah, let him play. Mm-hmm. So I'll give it to Harden, but I won't say Steph Curry can't be replicated. It won't be replicated to that level, but if teams were to implement that style of play, I think we could get a few players that would be able to replicate, you know what I mean? Not the threes at that clip, but definitely the pin downs and, you know, the double screens and stuff like that. And that's all conditioning. You know what I mean? I said this on a pod, I think 2 years ago. Steph Curry was shown the door. His dad said, hey, listen, if you want to be this, you got to work for it. I can't give it to you. And Steph Curry, like Mills was alluding to, years and years of practicing. He was shooting on the NBA court at the age of 8. Mm-hmm. You're going to tell me that he's not going to figure it out if he really wants to? And because of his size, he had to learn, you know, something that could set him apart from people. Because at Davidson, he was killing people. Like, you know, he was almost out the league because of his injuries, and they fixed that with some surgery and shoes and, you know, other aesthetics. But Steph Curry grinded and put his head against that wall and said, I'm not going to move. I'm going to move this wall. And yes, Harden has influenced the players, but worldwide, it's Steph Curry. Everybody's shooting threes, bro. We were just talking about Bull. He should shoot threes. Victor, the big dummy, can shoot threes. Hey, Mills, you know that center play can shoot threes. Everybody shoot threes. You know what I mean? The corner three is like the highest rated shot took it in the NBA this year. Why? Because 9 times out of 10 people aren't really covering the corners unless you have.
Why are you disrespecting Victor, bro? Critique the man, bro. Why are you disrespecting him? Why you call him dummy, bro?
I'm just quoting what Mills said.
I called him that.
Oh, why are you calling him that, Mills?
Nah, I only say that within the game, right? Like I said before, you want to shoot 30-foot threes, come down the court and shoot the three. You're 7'5". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was funny. 7'5" dummy was his exact word.
That's exactly what I said.
I'm just bringing up that thing. See, Draymond, this is so.
That's a valid opinion to me. I ain't gonna lie.
But Wemby, I got him. I mean, I still bang with Wemby, but I just began upset because it's like your field goal percentages don't add up with your height, bro.
Yeah.
You're upset. I know why you're upset. You're upset because you see the potential of the damage he could do. If he doesn't do all of that, you see he could destroy teams. He could take a game over.
Of course.
Yeah. He could literally shoot 75%.
But he definitely could be a Kareem. He could be a Hakeem. You know,
he could be Hakeem on crack.
Red Balls, it gives you wings.
KD. He'll be 7'5" KD. Win, lose, or draw.